You see Ronnie James like doing his nails with a little. I don't know the name of the thing in English.
Nail, like
File.
nail file.
Nail file. He keeps doing it. You don't know if that actually matters for him or not.
I'm more impressed that she's at least trying. I just assume it would do nothing.
And John, you already have Captain Stand, just to confirm that.
One book obtained.
As Kevin,
Another one.
Dally, you can
Another
feel
one
like
of the people you don't need to call boss.
Dally, you can feel like the weight of someone's arm on your shoulder as it leans on top of you as you tie your shoelaces. Like, aw, he likes me.
Again, Dally, you don't need to call him boss. He's just another person.
Oh, tell him that if he doesn't, I'm gonna make his life even worse.
He says he enjoys her presence.
Kevin turns to Dally like, oh, by the way, Ronnie threatened you. If you don't call him boss, it's gonna make your life worse.
Kevin, yeah.
He stands up.
Kevin looks at John. What? Would you rather have Ronnie actually make his life worse?
If he does, I'll hit him with a stick.
If
Can you
he
hit
does,
him
we
over
have
the-
stands to make his life worse.
Ronnie's like, you can't do shit to me.
You're a stand, Ronnie. We can. How many times do we need to get that through your head?
I'm gonna hit him with a stick.
You want to hit him with a stick, it's gonna go through, you know that.
Stick sword.
It's a stand!
You stab him with the sword, you remember that nothing matters to his body.
I remember
They
there
can
being
make
an
contact,
interaction
yes.
where Shade, like, tripped him with his cane.
Maybe. You stab him, but
I
he
will-
just does, he shrugs it off.
I will stab
That
him and
seems so
shake him.
consistent.
One day we will stab Ronnie James.
It stabs him, kinda does stab him, and is like, He only is rather crap, but we don't worry about that. It's a play problem. I'm gonna stay up here because you're all a bunch of nerds. I'm gonna see if I can set his kitchen on fire. Actually, no, he makes
If
nice
you s-
meals.
Also, this is our base, jackass.
Yeah, but it's my base too. I can do whatever I want. And he just phases through the door of.
Why the fuck did we invite him to this?
I don't know.
I mean, if I had basically a stand that can walk on its own, I would have it on my team as well. Kevin says.
It would be Right. I thought that would be helpful, but I didn't account for the fact that he's Ronnie James.
I think he's
It's
fine.
really a trap of a tactical decision.
You would think he's fine.
No, he's absolutely annoying. But the thing is, his level of annoyance is definitely acceptable for like such a an advantage that he, you know.
I would say so too, but he has done literally nothing for us.
Now, let me just.
He's a part of the Black Hole Suns and basically name.
You can move yourselves to the right.
I'm
Here.
mostly just glad that we don't have to deal with PR regarding him.
PR.
Yep, that's Face's job.
As you get in,
Sure.
you guys come to face a beaten and bloody and with a few holes in places that shouldn't have holes, Ezio.
Okay, so did you already use a medical kit?
He has poorly patched himself up. He's not gonna die. I was like, oh Jesus, you've been through some shit. Ezio literally points a gun at him, stand against the wall. What? What the fuck? Wall!
It's-
Hands on the wall. Like, Jesus, okay,
Ezio,
pig.
calm the hell down.
Where's his stand? Show me.
Where the fuck?
I
do you
have it.
think?
No, fuck off.
He
I
looks at
have
you.
his damn stand. You can chill out.
He looks at the stand like, okay, stand at least 15 feet away from him at all times then.
You are terrible at greeting new members.
Give me a
It's
moment.
within his range.
Do you assault everyone you know, if you assault everyone that you bring into your fold, eventually they're gonna fight back.
John, that boy, he's like, I'm an adult. That young adult can steal a
He's
stanzas,
like the same age as me. Mm-hmm.
and you're an young adult. And that motherfucker can steal stands. I don't think you understand that my concern is very, very well grounded. Kevin's like, you know what? I don't want to agree with him, but like, fair enough. If you think about it.
I mean, he can't do it right now.
No, it isn't. If he's joining our group, why would you be aggressive? Don't just give him reason to fucking take yours later.
He can't take my
You have
stand.
to consider people's feelings, Ezio, goddammit!
Do you even know how his stand works? What he needs to do to
Yes.
take my stand? Okay.
Yes!
What does he need to do to
Shut
take a
up.
stand?
Empathy.
Just empathy. Kevin's like, yup.
I don't know how it works, but it's empathy.
Empathy can't steal stands. He puts a hand on his chin.
It's something he can fucking do, so chill out. Please put the fucking gun away. You're acting so unprofessional.
He puts it away, but it's on him, and he's kind of just.
But when somebody gets near, her head peeks up and her tail begins to wag, and she whines a little bit.
You're a good girl. You're a good girl. You're gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright.
Slight, very quiet barking.
She'll be alright. She just obviously needs to rest for a while.
Fucker aimed for her first shot. Not even joking. Bitch!
That seems illogical.
Yeah. It is.
That sniper seems like he has a grudge more than anything. That seems way too personal to just do out of nowhere.
Alright. I talked to Richard some more, and there's some stuff I also want to talk about, but let's get some stuff. Just so things are more put into words and I can get updated on it. So Robert and Hammond got taken.
By what we seem to think is either the police, a private military, or more likely a mixture. After I noticed, we don't know if it's them.
Well,
We
until we know for
a-
sure, you should put a pin on that. Get them at bay.
Well, we know an information broker with dubious morals towards us.
And that's true, he doesn't play sides.
I wouldn't be shocked.
But he
if I'm
didn't.
being honest.
He didn't know where we were fighting, did we? Did he? Or, no, he was there for that meeting.
He was.
He absolutely. If someone paid him, paid him enough, he absolutely would have just bailed. Or bailed? That's not the word. He would have spilled the beans. So, what was his name? Richard?
That's what he says.
So, Richard, my guess of Mr. Rock. I don't know how likely it is, but maybe.
You see, actually, think about it. Richard. I don't know.
It could also. This is on no basis at all, but could have been the sniper you were fighting.
No, I don't. He was probably with the police on this one. I'm not sure if he knew about it beforehand. I mean, I don't know. Ugh.
You are all aware what this entails, though, right?
Being cautious.
More than ever. If they were watching our fight from the beginning, they know our faces.
Yeah.
Actually, not from the very beginning. When the sniper
You
got
said-
up, I was already there. I started messaging you guys, fucking get out, get out, get out. And well, he was too distracted to pick up a sniper and look at the battlefield. And even then, I think it was at the end of the fight. Again, not so sure. You should still keep a low profile and maybe worry about your homes.
That still feels suspicious that they came in just as it ended, though. Even if it wasn't that sniper, there could have been someone else watching.
Yeah.
Real quick. Did he get out? That sniper, I mean.
Can you repeat that?
Did he get out, or did you kill him?
I ran.
Hmm.
That motherfucker
enough.
wasn't playing around.
Do you have details on him at all? Like,
He wore a mask, and I think he only had one eye. It was massive as well. Fucking buff.
interesting.
Can't think of anyone.
No, not at all. Honestly, I would have to ask Richard on that. If that guy just works like that, I don't think there are that many one-eyed snipers walking around the archipelago. Again, I was preparing this thing here throughout the day. He points at the blackboard. I'll have to talk to Richard about that information later. Now, with that being said, let me just add someone. With that being said, I think we should talk about the future a little bit. And he walks to the blackboard. There are a few things we did manage to figure out. Not everything, but it's a start. Even Richard doesn't have access to all the information on the planet. So, which one are we talking about first? The rich mines, the moon islands, or natural perfection? I would also mention Phantom Star, but I don't think anyone's alive in there.
Doubtable. Which one is fucking Stroheim stationed at?
Okay, can I repeat? Stroheim is in natural perfection.
Natural perfection. What do we know on them?
Give me a moment, cause storm.
I mean, it's the farthest away from us.
Yes, but
Distance-wise.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Echo started like pulling out messing through some papers that he had. I think Richard had printed a better map here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Ooh, I think I found it. Give me a moment. He starts like feeling through the papers and Kevin's like, so this Ezio? Not sure how to feel about that guy. Sounds competent a little bit.
He's kind of competent. Sometimes he seems to lack common sense, but once he sets his mind to something, he at least pursues it with all he has, so that's something.
I would hope so.
Done.
He's a mysterious fellow. We don't really know much about him, but he seems to be devoted to this, so.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And then Ed's like, aha, here it is. And then he walks to the table and puts a map on it. A map of the archipelago, but with some changes. Basically, as far as I'm aware, they're a bunch of rich people with a lot of money. Which basically means they're the strongest around.
It's a Brando production.
Actually, not
No.
necessarily.
Because I don't know.
Because when we were doing, when I was trying to help Richard out, which means I just carry papers and pen drives around, and he makes all the work because he doesn't trust me that much, he actually found not a Brando name. We aren't sure if he's actually the leader or not, but have any of you heard of the famous, well, Boo Burden?
John Audible sigh.
Okay,
You know the guy?
what, you're famous, you know him?
One of the best friends of Dionysia, yes.
Ah,
I say one of, probably the best friend of Dionysia.
okay.
He is probably, if there was a second in command, he'd probably be that.
Makes sense.
Fuck, she's alive then, maybe?
I can only assume so. She was claimed by even Josh to be the strongest stand user among the Passion.
That is strange. We found absolutely no fucking traces of her. There's nothing. Like, zero. Negated.
That makes sense.
That's so weird that
She's
a little
a lot.
wild.
A lot of the Passion members don't seem to be concerned with actually getting territory for themselves right now, and if this scheme that they're doing, where it's almost like a, I don't know what to call it, this program that they're having basically grants them territory by buying people out. They don't have to fight if they can just pay for it.
True.
Yeah. Well, speaking of these islands, I do want to give a quick mention to the Daydreamers. We have no
I noticed that.
Yeah,
What is that?
I have no fucking clue. We don't know. As far as Richard can tell, they never got into a singular fight. They're kind of just there. How do they work?
And
I don't know.
I'm more concerned that they told land that close to a Brando organization, even if it is just ran by Boo. That's... Like I said, I don't think they're actively going out to fight,
Actually,
but
now that
crushing them shouldn't be that hard.
Well,
Yeah.
there are two things that now I noticed. First and foremost, the main Brendo place, the main company building, is in there.
Huh.
But Boo Burden is all over here. What the fuck?
That's
I mean,
a
to be
woman
fair,
that no one knows if she's alive, and a faction we know nothing about that's that close to Boo. Honestly, if I were to hazard a guess, if that's where Dionysius' building is residing, that could be her faction, and she's just trying not to make a scene about anything.
honestly,
Makes
a fair
sense.
guess. I still would bet that she's around here somewhere because, again, that's where the main one is. But a bunch of Brendo stuff is just kind of all over, and I would bet more on Boo taking care. Unless, of course, she's actually here just hidden or something. But why have a territory at all?
That's what I was thinking.
That does. She obviously would have territory, but the fact that she would distinguish herself from the rest of her people was obviously the weird thing here.
Well, I mean, this is all assuming she's alive, right?
There's no way she isn't.
Well, yeah, but even
If she was the strongest stand user out of all of them, and the other two that were on Phantom Star are still alive, she's definitely alive.
Of course.
Of
I more mean
course.
if you were trying to fake your death, you wouldn't hold territory.
That's the weird thing.
Yeah, that's something to put a pin on. Should I put her little picture in there or not?
Put it as a placeholder.
Let me just, please don't.
It's also the closest
Oh, God!
Phantom Star.
You didn't see that.
Also-
You didn't see that. None of you saw that.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't looking.
Okay, good. That was a massive spoiler.
Oh, cool. If I were to, I don't know if she's one for the theatrics, quote unquote, but she was quite smitten with my uncle, and his betrayal probably did not leave her in a good way. So if she were to have a symbol that represents her faction, assuming it is her, a broken heart seems apt.
You see Kevin puts a hand in his chin? Man, I sure wish I would have anything to add to this conversation.
That's why you're the face. You don't need to talk if you don't want to.
Okay, bitch, I wanna actually matter, not just be a face.
You asked to be a face.
Well, I mean,
Yes, but I'm gonna help.
Kevin, we're not even halfway through the territories. Maybe there's something you know about.
You can add something later, Kevin. If nothing pops up, you don't need to force yourself to talk.
Kevin kind of just crosses his arm and seems a little bit grumpy at this.
Let's stay focused on that island.
Yeah, what's with the jukebox?
Oh, good that you asked. So do you guys know the Yakuza?
Japanese mafia.
Japanese
Yeah.
mafia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently they are an Yakuza of bikers.
Oh,
Biker gang?
Yes. And fun fact, apparently there aren't that many of them, you know? They have been getting some numbers and such, but apparently every single one of them have stands. From
That does create some issues.
From nameless
Yep.
randoms to actually important ones, everyone has a stand. And it's specifically, all of their bikes have stands.
what?
Their bikes have stands?
Their
What?
motorcycles have stands.
How is that possible?
Well, there's a thing. He looks at Kevin. Kevin's like, substance simulation is possible. He pulls out his stand, like the book. Just imagine my book, but a bike.
He doesn't pull out his book. I still have his book.
He kind of goes to reach out for his book. He remembers he doesn't have it, and then he points at John. My book, but a bike.
Well, that's true, but that's different. That would mean the motorcycle is a stand, not the motorcycle has a stand. That's an important distinction.
You see, it's like, you know what I meant. Their motorcycles are stands. They have stands that are their motorcycles.
No, I actually didn't. I thought you were implying both the rider and the motorcycle had two different stands.
No. Their motorcycles are the stands, and all of them have stands.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Now, Ezio thinks about
that.
faking it.
That does bring up one concern immediately. You said they don't have a lot of members, but all of them have stands, which means though their numbers may be smaller, they're definitely going to be stronger individually.
Yeah, and the thing that worries me is, do you guys know what's the best way to have an army of stand users?
Drugs.
Drugs! Correct! Very good job, Steven. Now,
Thanks.
how the fuck does a biker gang get access to that many drugs? And not only that, all the time they try to use the drugs, they always get a stand user out of it. And how every single time they're always their motorcycle.
Ezio? Notice their positioning.
Okay.
We know for a fact one gang that for some reason seems to be peddling this out for the sake of claiming territory and loyalty, which would be Boo's gang. They, like last time, tried to come to us to sell stand drugs, though that may have been their own thing. It's still not... Though those twins seem to have been acting on their own, it is still not unlikely that the gang as a whole could be trying to peddling drugs that were made by the Passion. And, I mean, If they have someone that close to them, that just means they're easy money. Basically buys out the royalty and gives them money while they're at it.
So wait, you think
That would be my guess.
the little Brandos are doing all of this?
Not this
No,
one.
I'm just thinking
but
the Brandos as a whole is doing this. Like
yeah,
I said,
there is one problem. The jukeboxers and Boo Borden are fighting.
it would be weird to waste resources like that just to maintain a face, a facade.
Interesting.
When you say every,
This is Ryuji Gojo.
that's the bitch.
Where do you
Ryuji
know him
Gojo.
from?
Old work. He was basically a gun for hire from what I remember. Not bad at his job, but not the best either. Although I'm not surprised that he got out there. He's pretty tough.
Yeah, that we heard. Apparently this motherfucker kind of just grabs entire motorcycles and benches and throws them at people.
That seems like a waste of a stand.
Well, well, usually it's not the stand, but you know, it's.
I hear motorcycle and I think it's the motorcycle stands.
I mean, maybe his stand could be indestructible and he just uses it as a big bat.
That'd be something.
That would be pretty funny. Any of this Edson actually kind of starts laughing like, the idea of this big motherfucker throwing a bike around just because it's indestructible, it's very
That's
funny. Sorry.
Pull it back, please.
Sorry.
I have a question.
Yeah?
You said he was noteworthy. Do you know how high up among the chain he is?
We're guessing close to second in command, possibly third, but very high up.
Okay. So he's definitely someone to keep our eyes on.
Yeah.
Anything else? No. What did you say the name of this gang was?
They're the jukeboxers.
Jukeboxers. Okay.
Now, for the police force, I'ma be real, I have no idea who actually is behind them, so I kind of... And getting information on the government after all this mess is a little bit hard, so we kind of just gonna... He puts a paper on the blackboard. The mayor, question mark?
It's probably safe to assume whoever the head of the government is probably is perpetuating the police.
Yeah, it's the mayor. Well, this guy here is William Frisk. He kind of just... I don't know, he kind of was just doing his thing, you know?
He's the mayor. He's probably got his neck full up to complaints considering the situation regarding the archipelago.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm sure his priorities are split all over the place, from trying to save face to actually trying to help people. Not to mention territory, I guess.
Speaking of which, the positioning that they're in is interesting. I know, theoretically speaking, this just means this is the area where they're stable in and can claim they have more right to it than anyone else, but the fact that they're that far away and we're all the way over where we are, and they still knew and still had a sting operation. It's looking like a setup the more and more information I learn about them.
Yeah.
Does make me curious where they have their fingers. How many pies they have them in, I guess.
Yeah, what we do know is that there are basically almost no stand users amongst them. Like 99.99.9999%. I know there are not that many stand users around, I guess except for the fucking bikers. But like, basically all of them are just people. There's just no stand people.
And I assume the purple in between all of them is contested?
Pretty much so. they take a hold for a day, then the two other ones go and take them over, and then the after one takes over, and then it keeps doing that.
No
I
man's
care
land.
about that spot so much.
It's more territory.
I guess.
That's you could
Well,
probably view it as it's the centralmost part of this specific island, so if they have it, it's more or less lets them fan out a bit more.
mm-hmm.
It's the linking connection of all of their territories.
Pretty much so. Also, the gangsters specifically, I would assume they want it, because I think it's the place with the most what's the name? A bunch of saloons and just like playing around and having fun place, and Amazon, etc. Which, according to Richard at least, is filled with the ideal places to collect information from everywhere. I'm guessing that's probably one of the importance, but honestly, at this point, I think it's a dick measuring competition. They want to show who can get that territory first to basically demoralize the others.
I would expect that from everyone there except for the police force.
You'd say that, but you wouldn't
Really?
believe how much, like, demoralizing the enemy is useful.
The
Well, I understand that,
status.
but I wonder how many resources they would actually be willing to put into something like that over
Well,
things.
if they really wanted to put in a lot of their resources to combat that area in specific, I'm sure they would have done it by now, but it wouldn't really do them much good since they're facing down what seems to be an up-and-coming team and one that's been well established for years. So that's probably why they haven't done much actually about it, and it's still kind of unclaimed overall.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's basically everything I've got going on for them. Well, there's
What's
also
with
technically the artificial island, but that's basically where the cops are. Nothing happened there. It's probably somewhat damaged from the burst, but I don't know. We can't really deal with that. It's not really a worthwhile fight.
what?
We might have to, depending on what they keep there.
What's that's a future problem. We can't go storming the government anytime soon.
Not yet. What about the mask? I assume that's Wikipedia.
Sorry,
That's
give me a moment.
you.
Sorry, give me a moment because my thing is lagging a little bit.
Okay.
What's the question?
How about that mask?
Oh, the mask? Well,
Yeah.
it's not really a mask. It seems to be some sort of mutated animal skull thing. I don't know, man. They call them. They are weird. They call themselves the Los Chupacabras, and apparently they only seem to really operate at night. Like their
Vampires?
stuff. Vampires? No. I mean, I don't know.
Chupacabra, goat sucker, operate at night.
Do you suck?
Sounds like
Do you
vampires.
suck goats off? Is that a thing vampires do?
Choice wording, that's yeah.
What? Oh,
Like,
I get it. No, I get it. Sorry. But do you drink goat's blood? Is that a thing vampires do?
Yeah,
Vampire
the
bats.
vampire
Blood's
bats
blood.
are also a thing, true. Yeah. Although I don't. If I had to guess, it's probably just closer to a name choice, perhaps a theming choice. I don't think it has any real merit beyond just
I
a
agree.
name.
Well, we actually haven't been able to find out much of anything besides that. Kind of just do their own thing. A lot of their members, the very few that we managed to get anything off of, seem to use masks at, like, most times. Nobody really remembers much or knows much about them.
Weird.
Very awkward. Kevin like looks that up. Is like, so are they in direct combat with the Weka peoples? I assume. Ezio looks. Yeah, pretty much so. They are basically beating the shit out of each other to see who takes up everything. Weka people's winning currently.
Checks out.
Pretty much so.
He's.
You think I've put a hand on his
It
chin?
only makes sense.
What if we don't have to take over all the territory of the islands? Honestly, actually, you see Kevin think about it for a second. If we did manage to side with Weka people, and we took out La Chupacabras, we could get a very powerful ally. We would have access to stand drugs and the person that knows how to produce them the most. Probably the only person who knows how to produce them.
Keep a pin in that. I wouldn't want to make such a big decision without all of us piling in on it.
Besides,
That's
out of all the people to side with, I feel like he would be one of the most difficult.
I mean,
John checks us up.
he kind of puts it in. I mean, if we just tell him what happened, or at least tell him that we want to help with the territory and such, we can build up a friendly relationship.
And
Yeah,
I don't
you
like.
can do that.
And Stephen, if you need more convincing, I can't say I'm about for or against this really. But though I don't really like using it like this, I technically am leverage in that kind of case.
True. I'd prefer to hear both sides.
I would prefer to hear everyone's opinion on that before we even think about making a decision that big.
It is pretty big, but sure, we could try and fight another whole group of people, especially the guy that controls the hospitals and probably has the help of the government, considering, again, he's a doctor, controls the hospitals. That's a lot more power than one would think. Or a bunch of random people that only work at night wearing masks, basically being fucked up vigilantes or something.
I think you're missing the point. It's not
Or isn't the
weird.
question here?
It's not whether we decide to who we pick to ally with. It's if we pick to ally with anyone in the first place. We can't make a decision like that on our own.
Oh, I'm just putting that option on the table, I guess. I personally would rather be allied with Weka people than actually fight him, says Kevin.
Making allies are about as dangerous as making enemies.
Right.
It's
When you're an ally with someone, you make enemies with their enemies.
I have it in good faith if we wanted to try and convince Wickerpeople. I could probably pull a few strings, but it takes some deceptive work.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sure that we just need to do a favor at a time if we do decide to go that route. I think it's a worthwhile try.
When Dion is soundly of mind, we can talk about more with him later.
That's fair enough.
Personally, I know my next plan of action.
Care sharing or too personal?
Gonna try to find a way to talk with Sturheim.
John's eyes go fucking wide. Why?
Seems the easiest to talk to. Eh,
You see,
I
like,
mean-
do you have like his phone number or something? I mean, you have the Weka people number or something,
do
right? I'm talking about John.
I? Oh.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, John's
points.
here.
Did we exchange phone numbers when, like, we were all talking to each other with people Robert, me, and fucking.
It's been long
Sure.
enough that even I don't remember. I'm going to be honest.
It's logical that you would.
Do we want to retroactively say we did, or is that a no?
Let me think about consequences real quick. GM consequences of you having his phone number. You know what? Wanna know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say, actually, John, can you? It's not gonna matter, but I'm gonna say that you asked Weka people to give you Nicolo's phone number.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would say spend a plot point, but I'm gonna be real. The session plot point is gonna come back later, so And also, I think this
Yep.
makes a more interesting story. So fuck it.
Got Wikipedia's number or Wikipedia Stroheim's number. Yeah. Looks to. Was it Kevin that asked or Ezio?
Atilda asked.
Looks to Ezio. Yeah, I have his number. Alessandro gave it to me.
So like he kind of sits down a little bit. Oh fuck. Oh god. I'm going to the hospital for this. Yeah. So.
Correct choice.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should.
So we're gonna
Yeah,
make
that's
the call
probably
now, or should we make it later? Because honestly, that's all the information I have. Oh right. By the way, of the police force, this guy over here, he's scary.
Yeah, we've talked.
Name specifics.
John Preston.
John like double takes since he was looking at his phone to get everything straight and was just like looks up. Oh, that guy. He's part of the police?
Yeah. Apparently he's a very corrupt cop.
Oh.
He was playing bodyguard for the Brando twins a few weeks ago.
I
Well,
guess they pay.
they pay, duh. What other reason would you abandon their position? And again, he's a very corrupt cop. I wouldn't doubt a thing.
Maybe we can talk with him.
Is he
Yeah.
going to be an active issue?
I
If he's
mean,
corrupt, we
if
could
the
probably
police
convince him to be
force-
with us if I'm being honest.
okay, look, if the police force is now trying to do a sincere cleanup of the gangs using the burst as like a chance, he's either gonna be a bigger problem, or I think he's just gonna be a bigger problem. Yeah.
I think he falls under the allies thing of we can trust him at our leisure, but allies are just as likely to stab you in the back.
Pretty much so. I wouldn't trust him one bit.
We can trust him as much as we can trust an enemy.
Which is to say, not very.
Kevin's like, unless we find enough money to buy him.
And take a bit of money.
Take quite a bit of money, yeah.
With someone who recently came into the Eternal's fortune, I'm sure that wouldn't be too hard.
I suppose so. That's just like. Also, I want to say, our biggest advantage as a territory is the fact that one, our bridges that connect both the Moon Islands and Rich Mines, we get to observe and have a hand on what kind of stuff is going in and out. So our territory basically means we get to know what passes through here, and most importantly, the shippings. If they need to buy shit from the outside or send shit away, we get to control over how much we fuck up or not. Although
So
not.
That's true.
So basically
We have
speaking,
the
we can.
coastline more or less, but like Steven said, that J Corp you mentioned seems to have one of them.
Yeah, Jacob, sorry.
A little bit, yeah. I would say that we can do at least probably once. We can completely shut off on the shippings and stuff to fuck up one of the company types gangs and such. But probably only once, because if we do this way too often and for way too long, the police is gonna start going after us, and we don't want that much attention.
Even so, well, it's a good option. I don't
Again,
think we
it's a
should be-
last resort big fuck you card. We don't want to do that, though. if you can avoid it.
Hmm.
Does everyone have thoughts on the bikers? Because honestly, I'm not seeing them as too much of a threat.
Kevin's like,
We don't know that.
I think they're honestly. I think if they keep look. I want you to think of this way, Steven. These bikers that there are not that many of can keep up with the police force, who have bigger
As
numbers and
well-
more guns.
As well as theoretically the second in command to Daniela. Dionysia.
Mm-hmm.
True, but also both they're competing with those two. We aren't.
Quite.
Yes.
Also,
If we wanted to, surely us trying to attack either side would create a power balance that kind of gets disrupted there. But we would need to choose very specifically.
Kevin's like,
Yeah.
well, first
And
and
if we're speaking
foremost,
territory-wise, we have to go through them anyways, so...
Kevin's like, well, first and foremost, we cannot side with the pigs.
Nope.
That is very clear. So
Not
fuck them.
happening. I
Now, with that said, we first and foremost, when we do eventually have to deal with that island, if it's not the next one we're gonna have to go to, well, we are gonna have to meet the leaders, figure out which benefits us the best, and help them win.
I don't want to deal with a big island again.
You say that, but the moonline is just a big island divided into mini islands, so...
Yeah, but at least that way we can... There's
I mean,
some control over how things
Steven,
flow.
regardless of like the size of the gang, we overall have to claim the same amount of territory. The only difference is whose face we're punching in.
True enough.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna make the call for Nicola or something? Kevin says.
That's Steven's business.
Yeah, I gotta go through the sewers.
Kevin looks
Cats
at
and I.
you. Don't you want to just go to another room or something?
Hmm?
Don't you just want to call him from another room?
I don't have his phone number.
John has.
I have his phone number, Steven.
No. Well, I still need to go through the sewers for him anyways, so...
Why are you going through the sewers,
You don't
Steven?
have to go in the sewers. The signal is worse. You're not gonna be able to call him.
You're not
gotta
going
call
to
him in the
try and meet
sewers.
him directly, are you?
You're gonna
No, why would he be
die.
in the sewers? Why are the sewers gonna kill me?
Okay, Steven, do you want to call him?
Steven,
Huh?
are you trying to call him or meet with him? This is very important distinction.
I mean... I'm gonna meet with him later, but I guess if you want to call with him...
Steven, what do you want out of him? Do you want to call him to
What do you
talk
mean,
about something?
Moving on. This isn't our business.
Honestly, kind of is. He's talking about Nicola. It's gonna be an eventual problem.
We can talk about it later. It's not of any ramifications right now.
Yeah, I haven't even gone through the sewers yet.
We are talking about it later, though. That's not passing up.
And it's just like,
Okay.
well, I can get you guys more info later. This was a little bit rushed, but
It's fine. We're probably going to need to take a few weeks off, honestly. Everyone's pretty injured.
oh, you say a few. We have one max probably. We need to keep working on this.
Why do we only have 1 week?
I don't know. Like, look, we need to keep up with stuff. Get started as soon as we can. We don't know when something bad will happen that we don't want to.
We don't want someone to force us to make a move.
I argue that currently we are holding some of the most territory in a while, and why that would provoke some to try and rise up against us, we technically hold the most power here. If someone tried to attack us willy-nilly, they must be suicidal.
Ah, I suppose so. Look, just go through the sewers, go through the air, go through the clouds. You'll figure something out.
We'll take a week off, but that's definitely not going to be enough time to heal up some of those major injuries.
Yeah.
Kevin then looks at Stephen like, what's the point of you calling him through the sewers?
Well, I'm not gonna call him in the sewers, I already said that.
But why the sewers?
I need to find a guy in the sewers.
What guy?
This
Oh, I forgot his name. It's awkward.
this has been eventful. I'm going to go now.
Okay.
Can I have my stand back?
I think if I gave you your stand back on the premises, Ezio would have a fit.
Or give my stand back when I'm outside.
Will do. Steven, I'll be waiting for you up there. I'll give you his number when you come up.
Alright, thanks.
Mm-hmm. John's just gonna fucking go wait at the front door. Hi, Dally. Bye, Dally.
Bye, Dally.
Later. He is still in the same pose that Steven saw, holding the gun out, waiting for someone to step in the door so he can say, "Who the fuck are you?"
Is his finger on the Is he practicing firearm safety?
He's practicing firearm safety.
Okay. That's good.
John will hand the boy his book.
He grabs a book like, okay, he puts it on his side. By the way, that extra guy's fucking weird.
Yeah.
He's paranoid.
Not just that,
And
I don't know.
Like I said, we don't know much about him. We know he has previous relations to the Passion somehow, but not more than that.
I have a question.
Hmm?
Why did he bring his dog to whatever the fuck he was doing?
Long-time friend, I guess. Don is actually, from what I can tell, a pretty capable fighter. It's just,
It's a dog.
I mean, you'd get insta-gibbed by a sniper too. Yes, it's a dog. Dogs have fangs. Also, that dog is smarter than any normal dog.
That dog's gonna get punched by a fucking invisible ghost and die.
I doubt that.
If someone tries to hit that dog, another dog will bite their hand off. So
He likes dogs.
you really shouldn't underestimate Ezio's stand. It's actually pretty powerful.
You say that, but that stand sure couldn't keep up with a singular sniper.
Do you think you could keep up? You don't even know what his stand was. You couldn't keep up with Robert on your own. Don't act like there aren't bigger fish always.
I could keep up with a sniper. It's actually a great matchup against me.
A sniper who supposedly on his own was strong enough to maybe not even use a stand and beat a stand user?
Yes. I'm not even joking.
You're full of shit, Kevin. Leave.
I'm not full of shit.
Listen, if you can take care of him, then go do it.
I don't know
Yeah,
who he
go
is.
find the sniper. Oh, that sounds like a you problem. I don't know if I said this, but I'm gonna send a text more or less in group chat saying we should meet up in a week's time, so be there.
Alright. And Kevin goes to the Shadow Realm. Jimmy?